Ethan, you're going to burn the eggs again, Lila said, laughing softly behind me. I turned from the stove, spatula in hand. It's called adding flavor. Gordon Ramsay does it. Gordon Ramsay doesn't leave the kitchen to answer work emails. She took the pan from me with that mock frown she always used. Sit. I'll handle breakfast before you ruin another Sunday. I raised my hands in surrender. Yes, ma'am. Though for the record, I've improved. She glanced over her shoulder. That's debatable. I sat at the small table by the window, the morning sunlight pouring through. Lila hummed while flipping the eggs. Her hair caught the light just right, like gold streaks brushing her neck. 5 years, and she still made my chest ache when she smiled. Next week, I said, sipping coffee, we should visit the wedding hall again. My mom wants to see it before we confirm the date. Lila hesitated. Yeah, sure. Her tone dipped, barely, but enough to sting. You don't sound excited, I said carefully. I am, she replied quickly, smiling without meeting my eyes. Just a little tired, that's all. The clinic's been exhausting. I nodded, trying to believe her. Maybe you need a break. After next month, I'll take a few days off. We can go somewhere quiet. She set the plate in front of me. You and your endless plans. That's how architects work, I joked. We plan even when we shouldn't. She laughed politely, but not like she used to. I caught the flicker of something behind her smile. Worry, maybe guilt, but brushed it off. Everyone gets stressed before weddings, right? The doorbell rang. That's gotta be Marcus, I said. He's early as usual. Lila's expression changed, almost too fast to read. Marcus, you didn't say he was coming. I told you last night. We're celebrating the Greenfield deal. He insisted on brunch. Oh, she murmured. Right. I must have forgotten. I opened the door to find Marcus grinning, a bottle of champagne in hand. My man, the architect of the century. Too early for champagne, I said, laughing as he clapped my shoulder. It's never too early for success. Where's the bride-to-be? Lila appeared in the doorway, arms folded. Good morning, Marcus. Morning, Lila, he said, tone easy, confident. He had that charm that made people trust him instantly. I'd trusted him for years. He set the bottle down and took a seat. So how's my favorite couple doing? I leaned back. Still together, so I'd say we're doing great, Lila smiled faintly. Barely, we all laughed. It sounded normal, like the thousands of mornings before. But now that I think back, her laughter was strained. Marcus's eyes flickered away too quickly, and something electric hummed between them, something I ignored. So, Marcus said, opening his laptop, you ready for the Greenfield presentation tomorrow? Almost, I said. The client wants a few changes on the third floor plan. I'll finish tonight. Always the perfectionist, he chuckled. That's why we're partners. You fix what I miss, and you charm the clients I bore. He raised his glass. That's teamwork. Lila looked between us. You two sound like an old married couple. Jealous? Marcus teased lightly. She smirked. Maybe. I laughed, but her tone had a strange edge. My gut tightened for a moment. Then I told myself I was imagining things. Marcus poured the champagne anyway. Here's to success, love, and friendship. We clinked glasses. Later, while Marcus went out to take a call, Lila sat across from me, eyes distant. You really trust him, don't you? Marcus, of course. He's my best friend, she stared at the table. Best friends can change, you know. Why would you say that? No reason, she forced a smile. Just, people change. I frowned but didn't press. You okay, Lila? You've been off lately. I told you, it's just stress. Work, wedding, everything. Then talk to me. I'm here. I know, she said softly. That's what makes it harder. I didn't understand that then. I wish I had. Marcus returned, slipping his phone into his pocket. Sorry, investors are panicking again. Nothing new. All good, I said. Sit! We were just talking about the honeymoon. Lila wants somewhere tropical, Marcus grinned. You better take her somewhere expensive. She deserves it. Lila looked down, biting her lip. I don't need expensive, she said quietly. I just want peace. I reached for her hand. You'll have both. Her fingers trembled in mine. We ate, laughed, and made plans for the future that apparently only I believed in. Marcus joked about wedding speeches, promising to embarrass me. I told him I'd cut the microphone. Lila smiled at both of us, pretending everything was fine. After he left, I cleaned the table while she stood by the window. You two always have so much to talk about, she said. Well, we built half our careers together. He's practically family. Family, she repeated softly. That's nice, I turned toward her. What's going on with you lately? You seem far away, she shook her head. Nothing. I just need rest. Then let's rest together, I offered. No phones, no work. Just us. Her eyes glistened for a second, then she smiled. You always try to fix everything. That's what love does, she whispered. Maybe love shouldn't have to fix things. Before I could respond, her phone buzzed. She flinched, grabbed it, and hurried to the bedroom. Who's that? I called out. Work, she shouted back. I told myself it was true. I told myself everything was fine. It was the last calm morning I ever had. The morning started like any other. I was humming in the car, tapping the steering wheel. Lila sat beside me, quiet, scrolling through her phone. You okay? I asked. Yeah, she said without looking up. Just nervous. It's our first checkup. Our first, I repeated with a smile. Feels strange saying that, huh? I still can't believe it. We're having a baby. She nodded, still not meeting my eyes. I reached over, resting my hand on hers. You don't have to be scared. Whatever happens, we'll handle it together. I know, she whispered. The silence that followed wasn't peaceful. It was thick, like air before a storm. At the clinic, the nurse guided us into the examination room. The walls smelled of disinfectant and new paint. Lila sat on the bed while I waited in the corner, hands clasped. Dr. Reed walked in, smiling warmly. Ah, Mr. and Mrs. Cole, congratulations, I laughed softly. We're not married yet, but soon. Ah, my mistake, he said. Still, congratulations on your pregnancy. 8 weeks, right? Something inside me froze. What did you say? He looked at the chart. 8 weeks. Everything seems healthy. The heartbeat is strong. You two must be thrilled. I heard my own pulse louder than his words. 8 weeks, I did the math in my head, 2 months. But I hadn't been home for almost 3. I forced a smile. Thank you, doctor. Lila's hand trembled in her lap. I saw it. I saw everything. When we left the clinic, she tried to grab my arm. Ethan, wait! I kept walking. Ethan, please. Don't walk away from me. 8 weeks, Lila, I said, stopping in the parking lot. My voice didn't sound like mine. 8 weeks. Do you remember when I came back from Boston? That was 3 months ago. Her face turned pale. It's not what you think. Then what is it? I snapped. Because I'm trying real hard not to think the worst right now. She looked around, like the empty parking lot might give her words. I must have miscalculated. Maybe the doctor... Stop lying, I said quietly. Please, just stop. Tears filled her eyes. Ethan, I love you. Then tell me the truth. She shook her head, biting her lip so hard it bled. You'll hate me. I already feel like I'm dying, I said. So what's left to hate? Her voice broke. It was a mistake, my stomach twisted. A mistake? I didn't mean for it to happen, she cried. You were gone for so long. I was lonely. We were fighting. Who, Lila? I cut in, my throat raw. Who's the father? She covered her face. Please don't make me say it. Say it. I yelled, my voice echoing against the walls. She crumbled, whispering, Marcus. Everything inside me went silent. For a moment, I couldn't move. I just stared at her, waiting for her to laugh to tell me it was some sick joke. But she didn't. Marcus, I repeated, my mouth numb. My best friend. The man who stood next to me when I proposed to you. Him? Lila sobbed. I didn't mean to fall into it. It just happened. I was weak, he was there. I laughed. It sounded hollow, bitter. You were weak? So you slept with my best friend? Please, Ethan, I stepped back. Don't touch me. I was scared, she said. I didn't know how to tell you. Then I found out I was pregnant and I panicked. You panicked? I said slowly. You lied to me every day, smiled at me, talked about baby names, and you panicked? I wanted to tell you, she said, voice shaking. But you were so happy. I couldn't destroy that. So you let me believe the baby was mine. I didn't know what else to do, she shouted. My hands were shaking. I couldn't feel my legs. You slept with him while I was building our future. While I worked overtime for us. I'm sorry, she whispered. The wind picked up, rustling the papers in her hand. I wanted to scream, cry, punch something, but I couldn't move. How long? I asked. What? How long were you with him? 2 months, she said. It ended before you came home. Ended, I repeated. And now you're carrying his child. She broke down, falling to her knees. I wish it wasn't true. I wish I could take it back. Wish doesn't erase betrayal, Lila. She looked up at me, mascara streaking her face. Please, Ethan, I need you. I can't do this alone. You already did it alone, I said coldly. You made your choice. I still love you. I turned away. Don't, please, she cried, grabbing my sleeve. He doesn't matter to me. You do. I yanked my arm free. You don't get to say that after what you did. She covered her mouth, sobbing. I was scared you'd leave me. You should have thought about that before you touched him. For a moment, we just stood there, me staring at the asphalt, her choking on her guilt. Finally, I said, Does he know? She hesitated. No, then tell him, I said. Because I'm done. She reached for me again. Ethan, I said I'm done. Her voice cracked like glass. Please don't walk away. I've been walking toward you for 5 years, I said. This is the first time I'm walking away. She collapsed against the hood of the car, sobbing uncontrollably. I kept moving. I didn't look back. Each step felt like a blade dragging through me. I reached the driver's seat, gripping the wheel so hard my knuckles turned white. My chest ached, my vision blurred. I wanted to scream his name, Marcus, but no sound came out. The keys trembled in my hand. I could still hear Lila crying behind me, her voice echoing like a ghost. I started the engine. When I looked into the rearview mirror, I saw her fall to the ground. I should have felt anger, but all I felt was emptiness. That was the moment my world stopped moving. Everything after that day was just survival. Don't answer. I told my phone, but it kept ringing like a jury calling verdicts. Ethan, pick up. Lila left a message. Her voice was thin. Please, I need to explain. I deleted it. The apartment felt too small for the weight I carried. A knock sounded. Ethan, open up. It's Marcus. Not today, I said to the door. He knocked harder. We need to talk. I stayed on the floor. Days passed like a slow train. Lila called. Marcus texted. I pretended not to hear. On the 4th day, Claire pushed the door open. Ethan, Claire. I let myself slide down the frame until I hit the floor. You shouldn't be here, she sat beside me. You look terrible. Thanks. I managed a weak laugh. I'm fine. Tell me. Lila's pregnant. The words tasted foreign. Doctor said 8 weeks. The father is Marcus. Claire went still. Marcus? She says it was a mistake. He says he didn't know. They both say the word like it means anything. She slid me a sandwich. Eat. I don't want food. I want what I had. You can't get it back by starving. Claire was blunt. Stand up. I stood shaking. I want them to pay. How? She asked. I don't care. I want him ruined. I want her to know pain. She studied me. You sound like someone I don't like. But I understand. So what? Help me tear them down. No. She shook her head. Not with me in the mud. Then what? I demanded. Live. Claire's voice was quiet and iron. Use this. Build. Work until they can't ignore you. Let karma do the rest. That sounds cowardly. It's smart. She crossed her arms. They betrayed you because they thought you were soft. Don't give them that satisfaction. I sat heavy on the couch. I imagine his face. I hear his laugh. I want to break it off his neck. You can't break him without breaking yourself. Maybe I deserve to break. She leaned forward. No, you deserve to be better. She reached into her bag and pulled out cash and a plane ticket. Mom paid. She wants you at home for a bit. No phones, no drama. Mom sent money? I frowned. She never does that. She does now. Claire handed me the ticket. Go, sleep, eat, get angry in bed, not in public. You'd lie for me? I asked softly. I'd fake a miracle. She smirked. Now pack. I looked at the photos on the wall. The ring box on the table. I wanted to grab Lila and shake answers from her. Instead, I packed a bag with hands that trembled. Promise me one thing, Claire said as we left. Don't do anything you'll regret. I promise. Don't pick up their calls tonight. I won't. Outside, the city moved like nothing had changed. Claire guided me to the car as if steering someone who'd lost their map. You'll be fine, she said. I don't feel fine. Fine isn't the point. Recovery is. I watched my apartment recede and felt a strange relief. For the first time since the clinic, silence felt like a shelter, not a cell. Claire squeezed my hand. We'll plan quietly. Revenge doesn't need a banner. I nodded, not sure I believed her yet. As the city slid by, I rehearsed names to say aloud, Marcus, Lila, and decided I would not let my anger drag me under. What will you do? Claire asked. I don't know, I said. I want them to pay. Pay how? She pressed. Make Marcus lose his job. Make Lila feel this. Loud revenge breaks you, Claire said. Then tell me, I demanded. Live, she said. Work. Build. Make them irrelevant. You mean live well to hurt them? I asked. Yes. Live so they regret it. My phone buzzed. Marcus. Claire squeezed my wrist. Don't. He texted. I made a mistake, I said. Delete it, she said. He had his chance. I deleted the message. The act steadied me. Tomorrow we start small, Claire said. 1 email, 1 call, 1 normal day. I can do 1 email, I said. Good. She smiled. Come with me. Mom has food in a bed. I packed a bag. Claire gripped my hand. We'll plan quietly, she promised. Revenge doesn't need shouts, I nodded. For once I felt a small, dangerous hope. I promised, I said. Claire smiled, a little cruel and kind. Then sleep, she said, and we left the city behind. Tomorrow we begin, I whispered. I will not break again. Morning, Ethan. Rachel's voice nudged me at the office doorway. I'm here, I said, forcing a grin. You don't have to smile like that, she said, sliding a folder onto my desk. You look like you swallowed a lemon. I like sour. I tapped the folder. What is it? Quarterly expense reports, she said. Marcus asked me to tidy them up. Thought you might need a look. I opened the folder, fingers steady even though my chest was not. You sure? Positive. Some entries didn't add up, she shrugged. Maybe I'm nosy. Or you're saving my life, I said. She raised an eyebrow. Dramatics, tell me what's wrong. You don't want this, I warned. I'm already involved. She sat on the corner of my desk. Claire told me to watch you. You saw me? I asked. You didn't hide it. She met my eyes. I'm not replacing her, I'm helping. Why help me? I asked. Because you're easy to like. Her words were plain and true. Fine. I closed the folder. Look at this line. Consulting fees, 2 entries, both to private accounts. 1 for an overseas vendor that doesn't exist, Rachel frowned. Sloppy for Marcus. Sloppy is dangerous. I felt steel in my chest. Find everything linked to those accounts. I'll run a trace quietly. Quiet is important. Days slipped into routines. I acted normal in meetings, joked about timelines, signed drawings. Behind my smile, I copied invoices, saved emails, and scanned bank statements. My hands moved like a man hunting bones. You look tired, Rachel said one night when we stayed late. I am, I admitted, but tired tastes like work. It's clean. You're not doing this for the firm. No. I hesitated. It's personal. You don't have to explain. She refilled the coffee. Just don't burn out. I won't. She left a spreadsheet on my screen. See this? I matched vendor names to individuals. Grayson Holdings repeats. It links to Marcus's accounts. Grayson? I said. His family's shell company. Exactly. Transfers match dates when you were away. Cold satisfaction spread. So he used company funds to pad personal deals. Someone needs to know. She paused. But not yet. Not yet, I echoed. We worked in silence. She slid printouts across my desk. I folded them into my plan. You sure you want to do this? She asked once. Yes. I want them to regret everything. You mean Marcus? And Lila. I forced it out. They both hurt me. She placed a hand over mine for a second. Don't make them the story of your life. They made it, I said. I'm rewriting the ending. Rachel didn't argue. She nodded and kept working. We built a quiet net. Emails flagged, timestamps preserved, paper trails smoothed into evidence. I set up an audit account and funneled copies there. The plan felt fragile and perfect. One night Marcus came by unexpected. He leaned on my desk, grin easy like nothing had broken. Working late, Ethan? You and Rachel look cozy, he joked. Busy, I said, flat. He looked at Rachel. You all right? You look tired. Long night, she said. We're fine. He laughed and the sound stabbed me. I'll catch you tomorrow. Congrats on the promotion. Thanks, he left. The door closed. Relief and the net growing met in my chest. Be careful, Rachel said. This could blow back. It will if I let it, I said. Promise me you'll sleep. I promise. We left under the same fluorescent light, shoulders squared. Outside, the city smelled like rain and possibility. I don't know if this is revenge, I said. Then survive well, Rachel said. Her hand brushed mine as we crossed the street. It was small, steady, and felt like a house. I won't break, I said. You don't seem breakable tonight. She smiled. For the first time since the clinic, a small, dangerous calm lived in my chest. Tomorrow, I said. We make sure he notices. Tomorrow, she repeated. Later. My phone buzzed. Claire, I answered. You okay? She asked. As okay as someone can be, I said. Don't do anything reckless, she warned. I won't, I lied. You sound like Mom, she teased. Eat, sleep, breathe. I will try. Good, and Ethan? Yeah? Make them remember you without hating yourself. Her voice was steady. How do I do that? I asked. Live, she said simply. Make them small by being big. She always has a way with words, Rachel said when I hung up. She's right, I admitted. And I have you. You have me, she said. Let's make him slip on his own secrets. I smiled even though the smile felt dangerous. Let's start tomorrow. I let the plan grow in patient silence. Rumors travel faster than truth. I didn't have to ask. People brought them to me. You heard about Marcus? One colleague whispered near the copier. Investors are pulling out. Something about mishandled funds. I pretended to care just enough. Really? That's surprising. They shrugged. Arrogant types always fall hardest. I smiled behind my coffee cup. He's slipping. Later, Rachel slid into my office. You've been quiet. I'm watching the show, I said. She lowered her voice. Is this your doing? Not yet, I said. But gravity doesn't need my help when the floor's missing. Her eyes searched mine. And Lila? I hesitated. She's losing everything, too. I heard she was suspended from her job. Because of the pregnancy scandal? Because lies rot faster than truth, Rachel frowned. You sound almost happy. Almost, I said softly. But happiness isn't the word. When she left, I scrolled through my phone. An unknown number had texted, We should talk. E.g. at first I ignored it. Then another came. You deserve to know everything. That night, I met her. Emily Gray stood under the flickering streetlight, coat tight around her. She was beautiful in a tired way, like someone who'd survived a storm and still smelled of rain. Ethan Cole, she said quietly. Finally, Emily, I nodded. I didn't think you'd reach out. I didn't think I'd need to, she replied. But Marcus made sure of that. I crossed my arms. You know about him and Lila? She gave a bitter laugh. No? I watched it happen. He didn't even hide it. Said you'd never find out. My jaw clenched. He underestimated me. He underestimates everyone. For a moment, neither of us spoke. The city hummed around us, but our silence was louder. Why now? I asked. Why come to me? Because I'm done pretending, Emily said. He ruined you. He ruined me too. And he's still walking around like he owns the world. What do you want? I asked. She looked me dead in the eyes. Justice. That's a poetic word for revenge. Call it whatever helps you sleep. I almost smiled. All right. What do you have? She handed me a flash drive. Emails, invoices, offshore transfers. He used my name to mask his accounts. I've been waiting for the right person to use it. I turned the small drive in my hand. You trust me with this? No, she said simply. But I trust Karma. Something sharp twisted inside me. Then Karma and I are on the same side. Good, she said. Because he's been meeting with investors again. If they find out about this, he's done. I nodded. He will, she studied me. You're calm. Too calm. I already died once, I said quietly. This part is just the echo. Her expression softened. Lila doesn't deserve you. She doesn't have me, I said. Not anymore. We walked to her car in silence. When she opened the door, she turned to me. What will you do with it? I'll make sure it reaches the right inbox. Anonymous? Always. Then maybe we'll both sleep tonight. Maybe. The next morning, I sent the files to the financial board using a fake domain. A few clicks, no fireworks, no applause. Just quiet satisfaction, Rachel noticed. You're humming, she said. That's new. Maybe I'm learning to like mornings again. You did something, she guessed. I helped the truth find its way home. She smiled faintly. And how does that feel? Like watching lightning hit the right tree. By noon, Marcus's name was on every internal thread. Fraud investigation. Unauthorized spending. Suspension pending. I stayed silent. I drank my coffee slowly, letting the news sink in like warmth through cold skin. Lila called once. I didn't answer. Later that evening, Claire texted me. I saw the headlines. Was that you? I didn't push him, I replied. He jumped. Good, she sent back. Just don't fall with him. I stared at the message for a long time. When the day ended, Emily called. You saw the fallout? I did. Feels strange, doesn't it? Like justice wearing my face, I said. She exhaled. He came home furious. Broke a glass. Blamed me for everything. I didn't deny it. You okay? I'm free, she said. That's enough. Good. Then it's done. No, she corrected. This is just the first domino. She hung up before I could answer. I sat alone in my dark apartment, staring at my reflection in the window. The city lights painted me in fractured gold. Rachel's words replayed in my head. You sound almost happy. Almost. I whispered into the quiet. One down. And for the first time in months, I smiled. Sharp, quiet, dangerous. Rachel burst into my office, breathless. It's everywhere. Marcus is finished. I looked up from my desk. How bad? Bad enough that the board called an emergency meeting. Fraud charges, asset freezes, media leaks. It's chaos. I leaned back slowly. Good. You don't sound surprised. I'm not. Karma's clock is just on time. She studied me. You're scaring me, Ethan. You wanted justice, not this. This is justice. Then why do you look empty? I didn't answer. The truth was simple. I expected victory to feel clean. Instead, it felt like ashes in my mouth. Rachel placed her hand on the desk. He'll be out by tonight. Emily filed for divorce. Good for her. She called, by the way. Said to thank you. I nodded. Tell her she doesn't owe me anything. Rachel hesitated. And Lila? I closed my eyes. What about her? She's been trying to reach you. She came by the building earlier. Security should have turned her away. They did. But she said something strange, and the child doesn't deserve this. My chest tightened. Of course she'd play that card. Rachel's tone softened. Do you want me to tell her to stop? No, I said quietly. I'll tell her myself. That evening, I found her waiting outside my apartment. Her eyes were red, makeup smeared. She looked smaller, like the storm had drained the life from her. Ethan, she whispered. Lila. I didn't know where else to go. Home, I said flatly. You have one. Or had one, she flinched. Marcus threw me out. Everyone knows what we did. The charity fired me. Consequences, I murmured. They come eventually, her voice cracked. You hate me, I didn't answer. She took a shaky step closer. I deserve that. But the baby, I held up a hand. Don't! Tears spilled down her face. He's innocent. I can't do this alone. You already did, I said. You chose alone when you lied. She pressed a hand against her stomach. I'm scared, Ethan. I was too, I said. When I found out. When you said his name. I didn't mean to destroy us. You didn't mean not to either, she sobbed. Please, just listen. I've lost everything. Marcus is gone. I have nothing left but guilt. Guilt isn't nothing. It's a start. Please, she said again, voice trembling. Can we start over? I stared at her. The part of me that once loved her twisted painfully, begging to answer yes. But the rest of me, the part rebuilt from betrayal, stayed silent. Start over? I repeated. You think we can erase this? I'll do anything. She reached for my hand. Just tell me what to do. I pulled away. You can't fix what you broke by pretending it never happened. I'm not pretending, she said. I still love you. Love doesn't look like what you did. It was a mistake. I almost laughed. You've used that word too many times. Her eyes met mine, desperate. Please, Ethan, I swear it meant nothing. I only ever wanted you. I opened my briefcase and took out a sealed envelope. I had a DNA test done weeks ago. Her breath caught. What? I needed to know, I said, because part of me hoped I was wrong. That somehow, despite everything, the universe wasn't that cruel. She froze. Ethan, I handed her the paper. The child isn't mine. She stared at the envelope, shaking. You checked? I had to, I said quietly. Because you wouldn't tell me the truth. She opened it, eyes scanning the page. Then she collapsed against the wall, sobbing into her hands. I'm sorry, she gasped. I didn't want to hurt you again. I looked down at her. You already did. This just confirms it. She tried to speak, but the words tangled in her throat. Marcus, he said it was just once. Once was enough, I said. Now it's permanent. She crawled closer. Please don't leave me like this. I already did, I said. Months ago. I can't breathe, she whispered. Now you know how it feels. Her tears hit the floor. You're cruel, I met her eyes. No, just finished. She reached for my leg, but I stepped back. Goodbye, Lila. Ethan, wait, please. I turned toward the door. My hand trembled, but my voice didn't. There's nothing left to say, her voice cracked behind me. You said you'd never stop loving me. I didn't, I said. It just stopped mattering. The door clicked shut between us. Inside, the silence pressed against me, heavy and alive. For the first time in months, it didn't suffocate me. It filled me. I walked to the window, staring at the city lights. Somewhere out there, Marcus was watching his empire burn. Lila was learning what it meant to lose something real. I whispered to the glass, "This is what truth sounds like." It wasn't loud, but it echoed deeper than any scream ever could. Coffee or tea? Rachel asked, leaning against the doorway of my new office. Coffee, I said, glancing at the scattered blueprints on my desk. Strong. I have 3 deadlines and no soul left, she laughed. You own the firm now, Ethan. You can give yourself a break. I'll rest when the roof doesn't leak and the clients stop calling. She handed me a cup. Then you'll never rest. I took a sip and smiled faintly. Probably not. The office still smelled of paint and ambition. My name, Cole Designs, shone on the glass door. Every inch of it was built from nothing, from the ruins of everything I'd lost. Rachel looked around. Claire said she's moving in this week. Yeah, I said. She says my apartment looks like a crime scene for loneliness. She's right. I'm fine. She raised a brow. You keep saying that like repetition makes it true, I smirked. You sound like her. She's smarter than me. She's louder. Rachel chuckled and sat across from me. You've changed, you know. Better or worse? Neither. Just quieter. Like you found peace, but it's sharp around the edges. I thought about it. Peace comes in pieces. I just picked up what I could. Her gaze softened. You deserve it. The silence between us was gentle. Then my phone buzzed. A message from Claire. Mail came for you. Probably bills, I muttered. Rachel stood. I'll head out. Try not to drown in blueprints. Can't promise. When she left, I packed up and drove home. Claire was on the couch, half wrapped in a blanket, eating cereal. You look exhausted, she said. Comes with being my own boss. She tossed me an envelope. This came today. No return address. The handwriting froze me mid-breath. Lila Claire's smile faded. You sure you want to open that? I've lived through worse, I said, tearing it open. The letter was short. Ethan, I lost the baby. I'm leaving the country for treatment. I don't expect forgiveness. I just hope someday you'll stop hating me. Lila Claire watched my hands tremble. You okay? Yeah, I whispered. Just tired. She still finds ways to hurt you. No, I said slowly. She doesn't anymore. I folded the letter, lit a match, and held it over the sink. The paper curled, blackened, and fell into ash. Claire sighed. That's symbolic. It's overdue, she crossed her arms. You're not even angry? I was, I said. For a long time. But revenge isn't a home. It's a hole you live in until you climb out. You sound like Mom. She was right. I smiled faintly. She always said pain makes you choose who you become. I finally did, Claire stepped closer. I'm proud of you, I laughed quietly. You used to call me dramatic. You still are, she said, hugging me. But now you're dramatic with a purpose. Thanks, I think. She let go. Come on, dinner's on me. I made pasta. You cooked? She smirked. Boiled. Same thing. We ate in silence, laughter slipping in between bites. For the first time in months, it didn't feel forced. After she went to bed, I stood by the window. The city was quiet. The sky began to lighten, soft orange bleeding into pale blue. Marcus had vanished overseas, hiding from lawsuits. Lila was gone, carrying ghosts instead of promises. Emily sent one text weeks ago. He's out of my life. I never replied. Rachel stayed, steady and unspoken, helping me build something that actually lasted. Claire filled the spaces Lila once haunted. And me, I just learned to breathe again. The sunrise pushed against the glass, warm and real. I whispered to the reflection staring back at me. You broke me once. The light spread over my face, soft and golden. But now, I said, exhaling slowly, I'm unbreakable, and for the first time since everything fell apart, I believed it.